Welcome to this great adventure of two sisters.
Absolutely not. Hey guys, welcome to the Regina Kids podcast. I am your host Maxie,
With her lovely younger sister, Rita the H.A.M.
and here on the podcast, as you can see, sibling relationships can be loving and sometimes a bit
Dramatic.
affect me, please, complicated. So join us every week as we explore all aspects of having a sibling.
Come be our sibling.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to
Hi
another
guys.
episode to another episode of the Regina Kids podcast. I
Regina
am your
Kids.
I am your host Maxie.
And I'm Rita.
What's going on, sissy? How's your week?
Well, my day is lit.
It's lit.
Yeah.
What you? It's midday. What did you do today?
I was out having Long Island's and eating pizza with my friends.
So you midday drinking.
Oh yeah.
So welcome back to another
Welcome
episode.
back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Somebody's in a really good mood, so this should be quite interesting today. Make sure you drop us a sib note, a sib. No, I said a sib. A sib note, a sibling note on our Gmail at Regina Kids Podcast at gmail.com. Make sure you like and subscribe on all podcasts wherever you listen to your podcast so you don't miss an episode. Also, leave us a comment and a review. We'll really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, we want to know what you guys think. Any topics that you want us to discuss, or you just want to say hello, and we can be like, "Hey."
Okay. Yeah, I know. If y'all seen last week's episode, it was a kind, you seen how siblings go back and forth. But I wanted to just put that out there. If you guys have been following us for a while, we had
Mhm.
conversations regarding
Mhm.
um, how sometimes sometimes when you're with family, it doesn't even have to even be your sibling. Like people, branch out for a little bit and they are in their own lives. So when you do come around or they do see something, they're just going based off their perspective. It's just something that they're on the outside looking in. Like they're not all the way in tune with what's going on in
Mhm.
your relationship. So that's just that. Today's topic, which Rita,
Perspective versus reality.
that's not the topic, but
No,
uh, today's topic,
it's my
Rita,
favorite. Thottin and Boppin.
she named it Thottin Boppin, but for most folks, the real question is, and we'll start with Rita, and then we'll, dig in and get some tea because we just want your perspective on the question,
No,
which
that don't
is
start with me.
because you over there grinning and skinning.
Is it because I had
Good.
a colorful life?
Or maybe you had a lot of Long Islands today. Either way,
I
um,
didn't.
either way, Thottin and Boppin, or what I would call when you're younger, before you decide to really settle down and jump right on into committed relationship or a committed any kind of commitment. Do you believe that everybody needs what they call a hoe phase or a serial dating phase? Because just because you in your hoe
No,
phase don't
you're
mean that you necessarily really hoeing,
right. Everybody ain't home.
right? But they call it a hoe phase where you dating a lot of people, you living life, having fun, doing whatever. Do you believe in the hoe phase?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it a whole phase because if that's the case, then it's a lot of grown over 35, 40.
Well, there's no time
Honestly,
frame to when you're supposed to settle down.
you say what?
There's no time frame to when you're supposed to settle down.
Right. So no, I was just saying because you said when you were younger. I don't think we can in this day and age we can't even say when we were younger because it's some grown ass people that's out here that still, getting it how they live and surviving off of what they penis do. So but I don't think that you should necessarily have a whole phase or anything like that. I think that you should at least explore who you are and find yourself and be happy within you before, settling down with the person.
Okay. Um, I'm not even gonna double back to the people surviving off of their penis. I don't even know if that applies to the
I
Thottin and
mean, they
Boppin.
graduated from the Academy of Thought and they
Oh,
got they got PhDs and master degrees.
yeah, yeah. You really you on one today.
I'm
I can
always on
see.
one. It don't matter what I done did, in regardless of whatever part of the day, I would have still said the same thing.
Okay, 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 okay.
I got a PhD in my pimping degree. Ain't that how I go? Yeah.
What? I don't know that. I know a lot of music. I'm really into. I don't know that song.
Somebody said that.
Or maybe it's you and
Maybe
you
I
and
should be
your.
a rapper.
Please no. Keep don't quit your day job.
Listen, they quit their day job and they listen. They making it.
PhD in a Thottin Boppin degree or whatever
Yeah.
you just said.
But I mean, what do you think, Maxie?
Um, whole phase. I don't know.
She ain't have one.
I don't know because that's
In whatever way you think a whole phase is, she ain't do it.
oh jeez. um, mm, I don't even know. I don't know about the whole phase. I don't know.
I mean, she found out. I would say that you found who you were. You had experiences, but whole phase, no.
No, I wasn't a serial dater either. So to get the tea on people that I dated, since Rita
Yes, we need to
was
see.
determined to throw that in there last week, I don't know, as a curveball or whatever. We're just gonna
I
get to
was
it.
hold on. First of all, I was not throwing it in there as a curveball. We
we
just had a disagreement on what my perspective was as a serious relationship to you, which we came up with a phrase that I actually like, which is my perspective versus your reality. Even the
It's
conversation
not
that
a
we
phrase
had.
that we came up with. You came up with that.
Oh, okay, I'll take it.
That was your way of saying
Now I don't want to see all of these motivational speakers out here speaking my lingo. Make sure you tag us and give us our credit when you be in there preaching about people in their relationships and being that like, oh, your friend's perspective versus your reality. Make sure you put in there that I got that from Regina Kids.
or just Regina's kid, Rita.
Oh,
Um
that's fine too.
I think that was her way of saying of trying to let me know that I didn't know your all your business then because you was living your life.
But
So
that's disrespectful because you knew all my business. Why couldn't I know all your business? See? Keeping secrets. Rude.
it's not a keeping secrets. It's if you know, but it's also I don't think during that time you ever asked because you was living your life. You was in between states and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Was I? Oh, I was. Yeah. No, 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 I wasn't.
Yeah, you was in the beginning. You had just came back from moving out of town and coming back.
Yeah. If you ever, no shade, but ooh, Milwaukee, that wasn't for me.
That's shady as hell, just so you know.
I said it wasn't for me.
Never
Y'all wasn't thotting and bopping enough.
Wow. You weren't able to move around like you wanted to.
Mm-mm. Nah, it's different. That's a whole. That should be a whole nother country.
Um, no. Anyway, so
Yeah,
I
let's get into
know
spill the tea, Maxie. Let's get. I need some timelines. I ain't say we ain't spitting no names or nothing, but I just need to understand your reality at that time so I could be at peace with the situation.
she is really throwing some extra sauce on it. I swear. She is definitely throwing some sauce on there.
I am all ears, girl.
Oh god. Um
I got to. You got that storm hair on today, girl. It's so you saucy.
she is so extra right
And
now,
I've
I
been
promise.
drinking the soft sauce.
Oh, she is so extra right now. Anyway, like I mentioned before, I was in a really I was in a real long term relationship that I jumped into right after high school. Ultimately, it wasn't my plan. I did not date during high school because I really was focused on my academics and I was trying to get into numerous amount of colleges that I did get into, but as life would take it, I wasn't able to go out of state to go to school. I had to stay local to help my family with, a few situations that happened. So with that happening, there was somebody that I met when I was like 15 years old, and we became really, really good friends. And I was actually his hair braider, and we had a wonderful friendship. And it wasn't until I graduated because he thought I was going away for school too. So we never tried to pursue anything before that. But when it was known that I was going to be in town still, then we got into a relationship. Um, he was like my first real boyfriend, the first person I ever been with. Like we were in a like it was a real long relationship. Like that was the end for me. We talked about marriage. We tried to have kids. We was together the first go round probably 10 years. And then during that time between the 10-year relationship, our main issue was I had so much family drama that it would cause conflict. And because I wasn't, I guess mature enough, or I was still like, okay, so sometimes when you're raised a certain way and you're the person that does everything for your family, it's hard to break out of that cycle and choose yourself first. You
True.
always put people in front of you.
That's why I never
Th-
did that.
so my flaw was that my family came before anybody, anything, even before my own happiness at that time in my life. So it caused a rift in our relationship. And when we broke up, it wasn't that we didn't love each other, we didn't care about each other. It was just that at that point, it was like I needed to figure myself out, and he needed to figure himself out. And we probably wouldn't have even broke up if he didn't take it as far as to leave. Like he actually left the state and moved away. Even though we kept in contact over the phone, it wasn't the same with us seeing each other every day, all the time, or whatever. So that in turn put me in a space where I just didn't, and excuse my French, I didn't give a fuck no more. Like I really did not care.
Potty mouth.
Shut up. I really didn't care. Like I felt
Yeah,
like I was heartbroken. I felt like, this life that I had created in my mind or, where was trying to create out was not gonna happen for me. So after him, I kind of went on a little break where I didn't date people. And
mhm.
then it was like, you still young. Me and my friends were still going to the clubs, like locally, out of state, everywhere. We were still kind of in the party scene. So it was like, okay, well, everybody was kind of pushing me to be like, well, if this is the guy, you meet this guy at the club or you meet this guy walking down the street, wherever you meet this person, like, why not let them take you out on a date? You don't have to do
Right.
nothing with them. You don't have to do any of that. You could just date people,
You know,
actually date.
I truly feel bad that this generation could never experience the life of partying in the 90s, early 2000s. It was beautiful. It was a
When
beautiful thing.
you was for the streets.
It's a beautiful thing.
So it was years in between there where wasn't in a relationship. I didn't date nobody or nothing like that. But there was a guy that I already had met like long time ago. We was already friends. He was friends with my cousins. They went to high school together. It was kind of like, oh, this could be somebody that you could date, and that would be like a safe space. But in my mind, to me, I never wanted to be in another serious relationship or make something serious to where I could not ever, if the opportunity presented itself, I could never go back to the person that I was with in the beginning.
Now,
So
pause for 1 second. Now, so with her about to get into these details of the diameter of this relationship.
the
Well,
diameter,
I'm sorry, the
what?
not diameter, the 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 makings of this situationship or what you want to call. Now y'all get that. I want my sib notes of what y'all perspective is on whether or not, because our main argument was this a serious relationship in between the serious relationship, or was this just a one-off, or was this just a situation ship type thing? Like, what is y'all perspective compared to what her reality is? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to pin it. So please move forward. But I want y'all to give me what y'all opinion is on y'all perspective on the outside looking in on what y'all think that this would be, because she making it seem like I'm crazy for thinking that this was a relation, like a serious relationship. Okay, keep going. Pressing play.
Here she go. So this was somebody that I already knew that um, we were already friends. Um, we used to go out on dates. We used to hang out. Um, so the part that my sister is conflicted about, it we technically were only together like 6 months.
Which
And
in my book is a long ass time. That's a lot of energy and time. Okay, keep going.
for me, 6 months is not a long time when I was with somebody for 10 years. So to me, that wasn't becoming a serious relationship because we didn't talk about moving in together. We didn't talk about marriage. We didn't talk about kids. We we barely even talked for real about serious situations. It was, day to day stuff, or what are you doing here? And the problem with this relationship, mind you, I'm in a I don't really give a fuck stage. So it was a lot of drama. And not only was it drama, like, in the relationship, as far as like cheating and, me getting outside of my body and being crazy. Um,
And I
he
was
was
crazy right with her.
when we weren't together, he made it seem as if we were together because he was popping up at my mama's house and, seeing my family members on the street asking where I was at. Like, he was kind of like stalkerish, but it was really, looking back on it, it was really, really toxic. Like,
Hmm.
there were fights and me slapping him in the face with a phone. Like, it was crazy, like stuff that I've never. And the really sad part about this is, like, when you get in a mindset where you don't give a fuck or you don't care about certain stuff, you people say that all the time and make it seem like, well, I don't care what go on, this and this, but the reality of it, you say you really don't care about yourself. So it was me accepting something from this person that I thought was a safe place that I never had to experience or accept or go through the 10 years that I was in this real relationship that I was in. So whether I cared about this other person that I was with, that I was going back and forth with and fighting with and doing all types of craziness with, um, even him, being out in the streets and going to jail and, being in communication with his family during that time, it was horrible. It was not good for me. And then after I just completely cut off communication with that person, because during the time, and this is where the my sister's perception versus my reality is, because in her mind, I was only talking to him. I wasn't talking to nobody else because she didn't see nobody else. And I didn't tell her I was talking to anybody else because she never asked. So to me talking to other people, going out on dates with other people, still being in communication with the guy that I was previously in a relationship with, that wasn't something that I wanted to bring up to her. And then after I completely cut off communication, the person that I was in the relationship with for the 10 years actually came back. So we ended up starting a new relationship, and um, things were just different because you grow. And sometimes when you start a relationship with somebody and you're really young, and then there's a span of like 3 or 4 years in between, you grow up and then you become a different person. After that toxic relationship, I took a break, like a real break, and, got to really know who I was and what I wanted out of life and what I would not accept and the things that I would not do, because I felt like they took me out of my body, like,
Yeah.
to where I was at a point where it was to the point like, you need to leave me alone, because if not, somebody going to jail and somebody else is going to be hurt. Like, this I can't do this. I'm too old to be going through that. But with the person that I was in a relationship with for 10 years, we always had a friendship. That was my person. So whenever um this is difficult for me.
Oh, sister.
So um
Now, see, you gonna make everybody think I'm an asshole. You talk about this, and you it's bringing you to tears.
Okay. Sometimes in life, God will give you people, give you something that you didn't know you ever needed. And he was that person for me. So we always remained friends. We did continue to date off and on. And in these last couple years that we decided that, we both were grown up. Um, we got our shit together basically. Um, we were back to how we always were. We sat down and had the conversations and, got through some stuff and got over the things that had torn our relationship apart. And we still felt that we were like he was the one for me and I was the one for him. And we were moving accordingly in that. Um, we just ran out of time. So last year on my dad's birthday, he got sick and suddenly passed away. And he is actually the person I dedicated um, my second book to, because when he passed on my dad's birthday, I was so heartbroken. I didn't know what else to do. So, um, the reason why my book is about the 5 stages of grief, because I had lost so many people during that time after my dad passed away that I was kind of just processing and moving along, processing and moving along. And then when he died last year on my dad's birthday, I could not wrap my mind around how to process that. I could not wrap my mind around how, honestly, how he would leave me here with these people. Like, I just couldn't understand. Like, I needed
Yeah,
him to be here. Like, after 25 years of my life, I still sometimes can't figure out how I'm going to sit here and make it without him being here. Because even without us being in a relationship, that was one of my best friends. That was my person. That was the person that helped me through my day when I was going through stuff with my siblings and with my family. So sometimes, I don't know, sometimes you run out of time. Like, you don't always get a second chance to do it over again. You don't always get the opportunity to um you don't always get that opportunity to get a do over. I know sometimes people think that,
You
if
have
you
to.
love them, you let them go. And if they come back, then well, hell, he came back a couple of times and I always do. I never allow myself to be open to the people that I dated, and that was wrong because some people that I dated, they wanted to be in a relationship with me, and my answer was always no. I'm not. I'm not trying to be in a relationship. I'm not trying to do that because in the back of my mind, it's like once he get his shit together and I get my shit together, that's who I'm gonna be with. That's the person that was my person. So yeah, that's why I'm on the fence right now because I can't. I, I, I just, I want to be open to love somebody else, but I feel like if I do that, then that's me letting him go, and I can't. I'm not. I'm not at the final stage of grieving where I can even accept the fact that he's not here. So,
And that, I mean, all in all, sister, that just takes time. Grieving takes time, and you have to allow yourself that time. Everything is still. It's only, we only in the summer, and that just happened at the in beginning of, this end of last year, beginning of this year. So it's still fresh and new. You know what I'm saying? It's only been a little over 6 months. So I mean, it's not expected for you to be like, okay, I'm ready. I'm for the streets again. Like, that's not, with how deep and how long y'all relationship was and how deep y'all love was for each other. Any normal person would not expect for you to be ready just to jump right back in. Like, that doesn't even, I mean, that wouldn't even make sense. And honestly,
well,
you'll be doing yourself a disservice and anybody that you let in at that time a disservice, because it's one thing to battle somebody that's actually here, but it's another thing to battle against somebody that's not here. You know what I'm saying? You battling the ghost. Like, that's not fair.
true. I just, I guess my sim note of the day would be, love on the people that you love while they're here. Let them know how you feel about them,
Every
because
day.
you don't always get a second chance.
And that
Um,
don't just go for relationships, that go for family members, parents, you know what I'm saying, your very, very close friends. Love, you have to give people their flowers while they're here, because when something does happen to them, you're left, you don't have that woulda, coulda, shoulda, regret, and all of that.
this is true. I can't say that I try to live my life with no regrets, and things always happen the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
That's the things that people say. In this instance, I'm not in agreement with that because
Oh,
that's
not at
not
all. I mean, a lot of times you don't agree with the way that things are supposed to go, because we have this mindset of, hey, this is the way that I see my life going. No one expects the trials and tribulations that come with going down those paths at all. None whatsoever. I see people on TikTok all the time like, Lord, I know you said that you give your biggest fights to your strongest soldiers, but sir, I didn't sign up for that line to be one of your strongest soldiers. I need a break. People do need breaks. They need that support. If you have a friend that's going through something, be there for them. Be their voice of reason. You never know what people are going through and what struggles it is that they are having, and you literally can save a life by just picking up the phone and being like, "Hey, how are you doing today? What's going on? What's happening?"
this is true. And siblings, if you're out there and you guys need somebody Just if you need to vent or tell your story, you can always drop us a sib note at Regina's Kids Podcast at gmail.com. Um, yeah, I'm still in the grief
Feeling
process.
all the feels, as you say.
Right.
And it's okay not to be okay. And it's funny, she used to say that to people all the time, but she never she don't like hearing it back to herself. Like when I tell her that, like she hates hearing that. Like,
This
maybe
is true
it's
because
okay to be okay. Or I'll call and be like, girl, I'm just checking on my strong friend. Cause you're dope.
what?
I said you're dope. I'm
Why,
always checking
thanks.
on my strong friend.
Here she go. Um, like I said, I never. If you heard in previous podcasts, I do have two books that I self-published, and the first book I never expected to be an author, and my second book that I was planning on writing, which I had no date for that actual book to come out. Um, I had sat down, with my friend, and we brainstormed and talked for hours about what I should write because he was so supportive of me becoming an author. He was so proud, and he would always be like, "Well, why you ain't wrote the second book yet? What are you doing? Like, we need to think of some ideas." I said, I used to tell him it don't work like that with me, but um, my second book that I dedicated to him, there is a story in the book about him because Love You More, Grieving Isn't Easy and Healing Hurts. The way the book is set up, it's about six people that I lost in the span of 5 years and my story of my life with them and how I am coping trying to live without them. So the book is dedicated to him. Um, there is a whole lot of background stories in there about us in there. Um, that book was actually written in 2 weeks because after he passed, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, and it just felt like God was trying to download this story in me to put out on paper. So I had to be up writing this story, and I just wanted to honor those people that I love that I lost in a very special way. You get to read about my cousin Jan, my cousin Bird, that was a football coach for 25 years. That his 1 year anniversary is coming up in May. When this podcast airs, it'll be past May. So his 1 year anniversary is this May. One of my friends that passed away suddenly. She was only 40, 41, 42 years old when she passed away. You can hear about my grandmother, the story about how my father and my grandmother's story kind of rolls into each other. So you get full detail about the drama surrounding his passing. And then the last story is my friend for 25 years. So, um, yeah, um, as you see, like Rita said, I didn't have a whole phase. I, I had been in love since I was 18 years old, so I didn't spread my wings and get myself out there like that. And for me, like for some people, I know a lot of people have relationships, like really strong relationships when they were younger and had kids and what have you, and been with their mates 10, 15 years after high school and stuff like that. And then they get married and they feel like they missed something, like they didn't, get to go party and they didn't get to do this and that and whatever. And they feel like they missed it. For me, I didn't, when I was in my clubbing phase in my 20s and we were still together, I didn't feel like I missed nothing.
Yeah.
Because, I would club
She
and
was
go.
outside, as they say. I'm outside. She was out there.
I didn't feel like I missed nothing because he liked it to go out. He liked it to have fun. So that was never an issue. So either we was going out together or after I got done hanging out with my friends, then I was right there back where he was at. So um for me it wouldn't have mattered. We could have got we talked about being married when I was 19 years old. We just knew that we both was kind of we really wasn't ready and we was kind of crazy, and the worst thing that the thing that we never wanted to do, whether we stayed together, broke up, got back together, spin around, whatever, we never wanted to ruin the friendship that we built from the beginning. So that was my biggest fan, one of my biggest supporters. Like, um his love and support for me was unmatched. Like, I didn't. It was one of those things where people be like, "Oh, I wish somebody would support me." It didn't matter what I do. I could have been coloring in the coloring book if that was what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. He would have supported that. So, um, it's hard for me because the type of support and love that I got from him, I know people in relationships that's been in relationships that has never felt that, and I pray that everybody has an opportunity to have someone that they are with that loves them like that. So,
Yeah. That reminded me of Tyler Perry movie with Cicely Tyson. I think it was what, Family Reunion? And they kept
um,
asking her, "Oh, Grandma, why ain't you never remarry after Grandpa?" Not saying that this will be you or anything like that. I'm always your cheerleader for when you're ready to get back out there and, saying, have your slice of happiness like you had before. Where she said that the love that she had with her husband before he passed has fulfilled her for a lifetime.
and I understand that. So, we went a little longer today. Rita, what is your sib note of the day?
There's nothing wrong with loving the right person hard. I think,
I
yes, I
agree.
said no.
Again, we do appreciate y'all for rocking with us at the Virginia Kids podcast. If you guys want to send us a sib note, send it to Virginia Kids Podcast at gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Also, like and subscribe on Apple Podcast,
Yeah.
Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating and a comment.
Okay.
Yeah. What? Oh, jeez. But
I
thank you
say I
guys
had to do
again.
something to make you laugh a little bit.
But thank you guys again for rocking with us on the Virginia Kids podcast. We will
Love
see
you
you guys
guys. See
next
you
week.
next
And
week.
as always, we are going to continue to glow through
Whatever it
whatever
is
it
that we're
is you're
going through. I
going
think I
through.
should be able, I should say the last part.
Okay, go and say the last part.
I already
Bye, guys. I can't with her today.